Okay, as we go into day 3 of the EOC review, we're going to quickly highlight a few things in a PowerPoint, and then I'll share with you what you need to complete for today. Now, yesterday I know there was quite a bit to fill out on in the packet, and because today is early release, I'm not going to take the time to review it. We'll try to hit some highlights first thing tomorrow. And so by tomorrow, please be sure to have yesterday's packet completed and then what we're doing today. So with that said, a couple things I wanted to just remind you. The preamble. Please remember with the preamble to the Constitution, it starts with "we the people." Remember, Jefferson said that government gets the power to govern by the consent of the people, and Locke called that a social contract. Well, in the very first sentence, and believe it or not, that preamble is one sentence, the introduction, it gives us the six goals of what the Constitution is there for. One, to form a more perfect union, to have that union between the states. Two, to establish justice, to make sure that the laws are fair to all. To ensure domestic tranquility, in other words, to have peace within the country. It's the government's job to make sure that peace exists. Four, provide for the common defense. Our government should have a military that's strong and can help defend us from enemies. Fifth, we have promote the general welfare, make sure everybody is doing well, and we have that opportunity to pursue happiness, just like in the Declaration of Independence. And then, of course, liberty or freedom. So those are your 6 goals of the preamble, and you will be looking at that again a little bit later. Also, you're going to look at the articles of the Constitution. You have your preamble, which, of course, states the purpose, and then you have your 7 articles. Articles 1, 2, and 3 are very, very important. Please notice, Article 1 sets up the legislative branch, which is Congress, and Congress, of course, makes our laws. Article 2 is the executive branch, or the president, and of course, the president enforces those laws. Some people say that the president is the top police officer of the nation. It's the president's job to make sure the laws are obeyed and enforced. And then Article 3 sets up the judicial branch, or the Supreme Court, and they interpret, they tell us what the laws mean. And then you can see Articles 4, 5, 6, and 7. Article 5 deals with amending. Article 6 deals with national debt. The Supremacy Clause, that Article 6 is also very important. The Supremacy Clause, remember, is the clause that says that the Constitution is the top law of the land. States can create laws, but the national law is superior, supreme. And so those are your articles. And again, you'll be looking at that in just a few moments. And then the whole idea of checks and balances between the president, executive branch, legislative, Congress, and the Supreme Court. And you'll probably recall looking at some of these checks and balances throughout the year. Please be sure to look at those again on how they check each other. So we have 3 equal branches of government. And then the last thing we're going to look at briefly are the Federalists versus Anti-Federalists. Federalists led by Alexander Hamilton, and Anti-Federalists, also known as Democratic Republicans, led by Thomas Jefferson. Federalists supported the Constitution. They wanted a strong national government, and they wanted a strong president. Whereas the Anti-Federalists, they opposed the Constitution because they felt like it gave too much power to national government. Remember, they were coming off of the experience with King George III of England. So Anti-federalists were a little afraid of having that strong national government, and they wanted the states to have the power. And notice that's why they were against the Constitution, because they thought the Constitution made the states too weak. And they felt the president had too much power, kind of like a king. So you had your Federalists and your Anti-Federalists. Now, what are you going to be looking at today? Let me go up here and make this large real quick. There we go. Now, we've gone through here. Yesterday, this is what you should have finished up. Please do that tonight. Today, you're going to be doing 1.6 with the 6 goals of the Constitution, again in the preamble. You're going to look at 1.7, looking at those articles. Again, what is the branch, what's the main job, etc. And then you're going to get into this, who has the power to impeach the president. And please remember, sometimes with the legislative, you may have to split it into the actual House, the House of Representatives, or the Senate. And you go down through there through 47, the purpose of checks and balances, just like I said. And then you're going to end right here with the chart about Federalists and Anti-Federalists. And so that is what you will be looking at today and completing are basically those 2 pages, starting with 1.6. And of course, I will open up on Canvas those areas so you can have the resources to complete it.